So now the 2024 edition of the ATS has finally come to an end. But before we talk about the end, it has been an exciting tournament. Started yesterday on Friday, and now we're about to get to the business end. We are going to be see two finalists who were here last year. They are not new to each other. But before we get to the final, let's just take a look at the final in who, why these teams are here, what they did, and obviously you're going to be giving us a rundown of that.
Yes, pretty much. Thanks, Tendai. It's been quite an eventful weekend thus far, and now it's time for the big one. And in terms of how these two teams managed to get here, well, for starters, they were the top of their groups in the group stages, came through, and in the final, in the semi-finals rather, they seemed to, obliterate, especially for Peterhouse, overcoming St. John's rather 2-0. And then Eaglesvale just managing to edge out St. George's.
But a single goal to nil. Exactly. But then we also wanted to look at the score margins here. In the first game Eaglesvale played, scoring 10 goals in a single game. Playing into the final, are they going to be bringing that momentum into this final? Remember, sometimes form and momentum carries you through, but just looking at the final, what are we expecting?
One thing for sure, we're hoping not once again to head into the deadly penalty shootout, and that we're just going to have a nice open play final. Yeah. Nothing too boring, nothing that's going to take the excitement away and the build-up out of it. And we're looking forward to the final.
And definitely now that for Marondera, for for Watershed, they are not part of the final. But for Peterhouse, it almost seems like they're at home. Is that going to be playing a really important part in how they're going to be playing against a team that has probably traveled several kilometers from Harare, Eaglesvale? Is that going to be playing a part?
I'm sure it is. I mean, it's always nice to play close to home, and I'm sure Peterhouse, you can see the crowds have actually come through in support, and it's building up quite nicely for an epic final once again. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So now we are about to get to the business end. It's going to be Peterhouse taking on Eaglesvale right here at Watershed. The fans are there. The atmosphere is actually setting up, and we are going to be there to give it you live and direct. Gilbert, we are going to be meeting them for the main commentary. You're excited, of course.
Very much excited, my guy.
Definitely. So we wait. Right. So now, good afternoon and thank you for joining us. This is the final of the ATS 2024 Soccer Tournament edition being hosted at Watershed. And I'm Tendai Smanda giving you commentary, the main commentary country. I'm joined by Gilbert, who's going to be giving you much of the analysis. And as you can see, the teams are coming out from the stands from the far side. It's quite an exciting atmosphere we have here this afternoon. You cannot believe that this is the winter. The sun is overhead. But Gilbert, what do we have to expect coming into this final?
Nothing less of fireworks, Tendai. Nothing less of fireworks. And you can see the teams looking confident as they walk past and come up front right before us here in what is promising to be a very much exciting final match.
Definitely. Now the teams are just going through what is going to be a setup before the final. You can see the match officials already prepared in the all black, and on your left is Eaglesvale in their traditional colors, the white and the maroon, and you cannot even make a mistake in notifying or identifying Peterhouse, who are in their traditional blue with a little bit of white. Now this is the match official, rather the chairman of the match officials. They've brought the professional game, the A game. They are going to be making sure that this final lives up to the billing. They played last year, and these were the two finalists. However, the team from Marondera, Peterhouse, won the final. Now a lot of people are going to be excited to see who wins it this time. A lot of tenseness coming here, and we just wait to see. And we're going to be along live and giving it to you direct. So before the game, we're just going to be looking at the whole squad that has come with Eaglesvale. Mahlanzi wearing jersey number 31. Matavata for Eaglesvale as well. Nira and Mapuranga played very well in the first round of games. Apiri and Singano also joining the fold. Drau Goliath, the very exciting number 10, is going to be also giving us a little bit of what he did in the first round of games. Lakama and Masawi making the forward together with Nyamashindi, Mugano and Chuma. Masucha, Kapuya, Munikwa and Mutewa make up that War Eaglesvale squad. Exciting young men that are going to be taking part in this final. And if you just look directly at them, they do understand the business that they do have. Some of them just soaking in the air and the atmosphere. You definitely want to be a kid again so that you can relive these memories if you were once an athlete yourself. So remember, we do have officials from Zifa as well, Mashona Land East coming into the fold. There were a number of selectors, the likes of Alois Bunjira were also here. Bekim Pilonyoni also here to just make sure that the selection goes as planned. And now they're just going through the meet and greets before the final. As much as it stands for the players, even for the fans and the families and friends of these players that are here. So now just doing everything formally before the kick-off whistle is blown. "22 of the finest players in this tournament that began yesterday on Friday are now gathered for the last dance, as you'd like to call it. Now they're just going to be taking a walk around each other before they get to their positions and see the final taking place. So any moment from now, Gilbert will be seeing those players get ready for it. But now they're just taking their positions. Exciting players we do have for Eaglesvale, exciting players for Peterhouse. What really can separate these two teams?
One thing for sure that we've noticed is that both sides are not short of quality all throughout the tournament. It could be maybe one moment of madness in terms of a defensive play, or one moment of brilliance from an attacking perspective, from one of the teams. That could end up being the separating factor between the two.
Quite a game that could be separated by close margins, almost similar in quality. Maybe Peterhouse being the more physical of the two. But don't look at the build coming in from Eaglesvale. They do have the technicality, they do have the quality. Maybe this is what they're going to be bringing into the fold.
And speaking of the Peterhouse lineup, Makuche Tinashe, number 1, followed by Hove Tawana Nyasha, Mangana Tinaye, Masaka Tinashe, Minga Makanaka, Chiripanura Tawanda, and the captain, Chivuraise Anesu, with number 10, Mawoyo Takudzwa, number 11, Mutwirwa Tendai, number 7, Kusena Emmanuel, number 8, Chapungu Carlton, and on the reserves, Njike Takudzwa, Kupe Mtandazo, Chaitezu Ashley, Mavengere Dion, Munyanyirwa Bradley, Makura Tavonga, and Chinyama Jonathan.
Now that's the squads for you. We're already given you the ones for Eaglesvale. Now that was just Gilbert giving you the Peterhouse as they're going their pre-match ritual, trying to chant and motivate themselves. So now getting their team picture taken for the last time in 2024. Remember, some of these players will be playing this tournament for the last time, and definitely they would like to leave there all in the future of play. Now, any moment now, we could be seeing the final starting. Remember, it's 20 minutes each half, so they have 40 minutes to whether win it or lose it. And with that, we are underway, ladies and gentlemen. The ATS final at Watershed. Eaglesvale taking on Peterhouse. Now encouraged to take a shot in the first early minutes of the game. Gilbert trying to take the game soon and possible, just trying to cause a lot of commotion before the team is even settled.
Yes, indeed. And you know, that has been pretty much the Peterhouse strategy in most of the finals that they've come through, whereby they take the early charge and, in a sense, just, you know, lock it down and defend until the end.
Well, they were just trying to take a shot in the early first 15 seconds of the game. Quite fortunate, maybe, for the defending team that didn't find the back of the net. But now they go again.
That's Eaglesvale building up from the back, slowly inching forward, switching play from one wing to the other. Number 11 finding his number 10. They bring it back slightly backwards. Eaglesvale still patiently building up their attack. The captain sending the ball forward now, finding his number 10. Dispossessed. But then he fights back for the ball. Once again, very physical match already.
Yeah, definitely. You could see the number 10 for Eaglesvale, Goliath. He was just trying to wiggle his way through that defensive back line for Peterhouse. But remember, we talked about how physical and how big these players are. It's not going to be easy as compared to the other teams they were playing against. So now this is one thing they have to be worried about, that the physicality is definitely going to come into play.
Definitely. You can already see how the Falcon players are pretty much towering over the Eaglesvale defense. Peterhouse there, ending the free kick.
Well, that man, the Goliath for Eaglesvale, wearing the jersey number 10, is not a player who would want to give so much space. A very mean right foot, and has caused so many problems for the teams that he played around. But we just saw how much they quickly shut him down. Looked like they did their homework. Peterhouse.
Eaglesvale once again with possession, trying to inch forward. Here's number 10 putting pressure. Ball finds its way to the Eaglesvale goalkeeper. And once again, Eaglesvale looking to build right from the back, patiently doing so. Now a long ball forward. Finds his number 9 who turns and has some space. Is he going to shoot? And he shoots. And it's a goal already! Eaglesvale takes the early lead.
Well, that pass that was made through the midfield, perfect pass. That was exactly what Eaglesvale wanted. And with their number 9 not thinking twice, not hesitating, it just slaughtered it past the goalkeeper. Maybe the goalkeeper is to blame. Maybe it was a team shot. But it's a final. And like we said, this game is going to be separated by close margins. And with that, they've already suffered the first blood. And Eaglesvale led this one.
Mashoko T, the goal scorer there for Eaglesvale. And Peterhouse possibly trying to quickly get back into this match. Foul there on the Peterhouse number 17. Earning them a free kick in a good position. That was the captain going down there for Peterhouse.
Well, if there's one thing that you can take from this tournament, the match officials have been rather pinpoint, not making so many mistakes. And if they did make a foul call, you definitely know that maybe there was malice in it.
Mutwira sends this one in straight to the keeper though. And now Eaglesville wanting to counter. Not the best delivery though from the goalkeeper. They do have possession once again via their captain. Peterhouse free kick.
Well, if there's one thing that you can take from this Eaglesville side is they like to play wide, stretch their defenders, therefore creating space for their forward. As you have seen Mashoko, who was left alone in that space when the ball was tucked in for him. And that is definitely what they're going to be doing.
That is Eaglesvale once again in possession. And building from the back once again. Number 10, Tanningen, moving down the touchline. Peterhouse now trying to find
So much of a big space between their players. They know that Peterhouse have the physicality, and
Once
exactly
again, the number 9 almost inching his way through the defense there. Unfortunately, he's touched a bit too heavy, and the Peterhouse goalkeeper collecting.
Well, Eaglesvale are playing the long game, just knocking it around with so much precision. And when the team is off guard, they ping it forward to the number 9, who can cause so much problems for the defenders.
The Eaglesvale supporters certainly the loudest right now, despite Peterhouse possibly, we thought, were the home side.
Yeah, just looking at it, and we're talking about the advantage of Watershed also being in Marondera, so you definitely think that it was going to come and help them.
Maporanga with the ball now, trying to get a pass through. Still with the ball, sends a cross in. High. And that's going to go all the way out for a Peterhouse goal kick. Certainly so far, the match is living up to expectation.
Definitely, and the fans can actually agree with what you're saying. And the Eaglesvale fans, even if it's a misplaced pass, they are cheering from the sidelines. They are cheering, and it definitely shows you that if this was a game in the beginning stages of the tournament, we wouldn't be expecting such an atmosphere.
You can see Eaglesvale playing with confidence. The players just oozing, and they're quite comfortable on the ball. But unfortunately, this time they lose position. The Falcon number 11 there trying to dribble his way around. But once again, Eaglesvale cool as ice. And once again, that's the Goliath trying to go through the defense. Falcons number 4 playing it safe for an Eaglesvale throw in.
Well, Goliath for Eaglesvale is a player you need to be very wary of. Not only is he good with the ball, but his off-the-ball runs are immaculate as well. And he can cause some sorts of problems without even making a single touch, because he has immaculate understanding of the game with or without the ball.
We need to press higher. We're now behind. We need to change.
See Mashoko there once again, a few moments causing trouble for the Peterhouse defense. Eaglesvale building slowly once again out on the far field. Passes his man, sends the cross in. Defense there from the Peterhouse number 2. Tawana Nyasha, Hove. Throw in quickly taken. Eaglesvale searching for a quick second goal. Goliath on the near side. Looks like, oh, just misses.
Well,
My goodness.
This is a player we have been talking about since the beginning of the game and since the beginning of the tournament. Allow him so much space, and this is exactly what he can do. The deep on the ball just came a little bit late, but if you leave him with so much space and time, he can take them from range. And Peterhouse, if they want to minimize damage, they need to close him as soon as possible.
Once again, Goliath on the near side. Evades one defender, lays it back.
All of you, step up.
Eaglesvale,
Junior wants to keep the ball.
unfortunately on this occasion, conceding a foul. Free kick to Peterhouse.
Well, it hasn't been an easy outing so far in the first minutes of this exchange. Peterhouse, in the first 10 minutes, to be exact, haven't really played their usual football. It just shows you how good Eaglesvale are in being compact and they need to change their approach if they want to find something. Yeah.
Once again, you can see the confidence in the Eaglesvale boys as they're very comfortable to just, hang on to the ball. They don't panic, ice in their veins. And then when the time is right, they just launch the ball forward.
Well, we talked about the physicality and how big Peterhouse players are. And we also mentioned how this was not going to be a problem considering how technical this Eaglesvale side is. And this is exactly what's being exhibited in this game.
There wasn't much pressure there. But, given the circumstances, you'd rather play it safe.
Well, we are playing against a team that can harm you at any instant, so you just don't want to be the victim. So the easiest option that comes to you, you really take it without thinking twice.
Makuchete, the Peterhouse goalkeeper, they're sending it to the terraces, into the Eaglesvale fans. Long ball forward. Unfortunately, no one for Eaglesvale on this one. Time. Long ball forward. Searching for the Peterhouse number 11. Mudwira Tendai sends in a cross straight to an Eaglesvale defender. Goliath now finding his number 9, the goal scorer. Mangana Tinaye making sure that the number 9 doesn't have a way forward.
Well, this is a man that they need to close down as soon as possible. Goliath.
Cross in. Goliath unfortunately doesn't quite connect the way he would have loved with that one.
Well, this is exactly what happens when you do apply pressure, which is something that Peterhouse have been doing. Apply pressure on one of these best players, and you won't allow them to play their usual football.
Was searching for a goal, guys.
Once again, it's all about Eaglesvale in the midfield area there.
Well, Gilbert, they do say that the team that controls the middle of the park goes on eventually to control the whole game. And this is where Eaglesvale have been very dominant, winning second balls and just controlling this midfield.
Amazing recovery there from the Eaglesvale number 47. Peterhouse was very much threatening there. That's one Piri there. Now with the ball. Mapuranga with the ball on this near side. One of the first errors there from the Eaglesvale defense line.
Well, it has become a contest of upper body strength, and we can see that it's a contest that Eaglesvale won eventually. But in the middle of the park, like we're saying, the team that controls the central area of the pitch sometimes dominates the game, and this is exactly what Eaglesvale has been doing in these first exchanges.
Mapuranga moving forward with the ball, trying to find Goliath. Goliath finds his number 9. Lovely exchange there. Keeper spills it. On the second attempt, Goliath almost sneaking it past the Peterhouse keeper.
You just have to applaud the quick exchanges between Mapuranga and Goliath, the neat 1-2s, perfectly knitting the passes together, just coming together like a nice puzzle. And he was almost through on goal. If he had only put so much power in his shot, we could have been talking about a 2-0 here before the end of the first half.
Singano now with the ball for Eaglesvale. Once again, you can see the confidence to literally just build all the way from the back. You can see the boys just knocking the ball around there. captain. Through pass. Didn't quite get through that one from the number 9, trying to look for Goliath. Eaglesvale still with possession. Once again, Mashoko proving to be a handful there for the Peterhouse defense.
But you clearly expect this to happen from Peterhouse. They've been under pressure since the first minute, and the pressure that's being applied by Eaglesvale is not stopping anytime soon. And now you expect their players to not be under any sort of pressure.
Well, Peterhouse needs to settle the nerves down right now. I think one of the halftime talks would be, boys, calm down. You got this. You know, just keep your heads in the game. Do not panic.
Definitely, that's what the manager has been saying to them, that we are trailing, so we need to be level-headed, because no one has ever equalized by not maintaining a calm head. And this is exactly what they need.
Just under 3.5 minutes remaining in this half. Peterhouse finally finding a way forward through their number 7, but the touch a bit too heavy. And the ball will find its way. Goal kick to Eaglesvale.
Well, one thing that we have to look at is how Eaglesvale are set up. When they are in possession of the ball going forward, they play with 3 centre-backs. They leave 2 in the midfield and apply pressure with 5 forwards. Some of their wing-backs then tuck in from the wide side, and they add their attack to 5 people.
Mangana there, chasing onto that one. Hurried the short there.
Well, the overload being created by Eaglesvale on either side of the pitch. We're talking about the setup, the 3-2-5, when they are attacking. It's causing some real problems for Peterhouse, because every time they are coming with their 4, there's always an extra man who's left unmarked. And if they manage to just figure out how to tame down that fire, they could have a game on here.
And now Peterhouse finding a way forward. But once again, that Eaglesvale defense is solid. Number 15 for Eaglesvale. Thumping challenge there, free kick given. Eaglesvale looking to take that one quickly, but the referee brings it back.
Well, a call that many fans are not really liking, especially the Peterhouse bench. They thought it was a clean tackle with no malice in it.
Oh, my goodness, a free header. Straight from the free kick spot, meets an Eaglesvale header, and it is 2-0.
And it's that man that we have been talking about. Never leave him with so much space. Like the giant in the Bible, Goliath is here to kill and destroy the Peterhouse defense. Adding to the goal tally, they now have 2. It's just amazing how they left a man alone with so much space, and he just had to tuck it to the back of the net. Shambolic defensive setup, if you ask me.
Eaglesvale once again controlling that ball nicely, exchanging a few lovely touches. The Goliath, the goal scorer, going around his man and getting the free kick in the process.
Well, it's only the first half of the game, but Goliath almost looks like he's going to be the man of the match. That is, if Peterhouse don't turn the leaf in the second half and bring their A game. But so far, it has been a Goliath show, and we are all part of it.
Singano, they're trying to do a 1-2 with his number 11, Mapuranga. Peterhouse, number 8, coming in and stopping that play. However, it's an Eaglesvale throw in once again. Mapuranga taking this one quickly. Cross comes through, headed away. Once again, Eaglesvale in position and building from the center of the park. Lovely skill set on the far field there, Tendai.
Well, exactly. That's where most of the Eaglesvale fans are seated. And if you want to get the crowd rolling, this is where you can exhibit some of your skills. And he's done exactly that. And the fans gave the perfect reaction to that skill.
Chiripanura with that long free kick take straight to the Eaglesvale goalkeeper. And that is half time.
Well, just a few takeaways we've seen from the first half, just that Eaglesvale have been playing the better football of the two. Peterhouse were restricted from playing their usual game, and you can see how much they are pulling in a frustrated figure. And if you were the manager for Peterhouse, what are you going to be telling these players in this 5-minute break that they do have?
For starters, they really need to compose themselves. We know that they are a quality side, Peterhouse that is, and they just need to really compose themselves and just start building as well. Have more position, take control of that midfield, and who knows, they might just pull 1, 2, or actually take it all the way in this final. We will catch you after the break.
Saudara.
Welcome back to this exciting final match. The first half was nothing short of fireworks, especially from Eaglesvale, currently leading Peterhouse 2-0. It's the 2024 edition of the ATS soccer tournament being hosted by Watershed. Tendai, what do you think is in store for us for the second half?
Yeah, like I said before the halftime break, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall and that dressing room for Peterhouse and see what they were telling these players, because as far as it stands, they were not allowed to play their usual game. So I'm expecting a little bit of composure, a change in tactics. Remember, they do say the first half is for the players and the second half is for the managers. Now it's time for the managers to show what they are going to be adding to this. So I expect a more composed game from Peterhouse.
Mashoko takes us underway, and straight away Eaglesvale pouring forward. And now there's more convincing touches from Peterhouse. With the number 7 now, shots to the keeper. Keeper spills. That's definitely the intentions that we're hoping Peterhouse are gonna, start the second half with, to get back into this game as early as possible.
Well, they are trailing by 2 goals, and exactly you'd want them to level matters as soon as possible.
And here comes Eaglesvale once again. Once again, that midfield, you can see Eaglesvale just toying with the Peterhouse players. Now things open up for Peterhouse. Free kick, Peterhouse.
Well, the intentions are now clear for the team in blue. This is exactly what they should have done in the first half. Now they are stretching the field, making sure they get the passes, their players being more available for the ball. And who knows, we could be seeing something coming from the set piece.
Chiripanura taking this one for Peterhouse in. Finds an Eaglesvale head. And now here comes Eaglesvale. Long ball forward. Almost similar fashion to the first goal. Peterhouse goalkeeper almost letting that one through.
Well, that centre forward, Mashoko, is a very prolific striker, and you can see all the danger that is causing. And the long balls forward are just aiding him and being a menace to that back line for Peterhouse.
Solid challenge here from Mapuranga. But the referee saying a bit too much from him.
Wow, this is a far range for him to think of taking it directly into the back of the net. Maybe he's going to be looking for a target into the box. All they need now is a perfect delivery into the box.
Chiripanura there, Tawanda for Peterhouse taking this free kick. Keeper deals with that one. Eaglesvale manages to clear their lines. Goliath tried to give chase, but couldn't quite get to it. Peterhouse throw in.
Well, that earlier free kick is the first time we have seen the Eaglesvale goalkeeper being troubled, really. We saw him try to parry it by just punching it away.
Make runs, make runs. Keep it up, Chidi. Keep it up. Keep it up.
So far, looks like Peterhouse having more of the impetus to get one back early.
Well, that's the idea, really. When you are trailing by 2 goals, that's how you want to start the first stages, or the first stages of this exchange. And if they continue knocking, we could see them putting one back and even going on to salvage a draw.
Senna, come on, be more aware, man.
Once again, Eaglesvale regaining position. And here they are once again, building from the
Oh,
back.
that pass doesn't happen. Oh, that pass.
Eaglesvale number 19. Just cooling things down. Like we said before, so confident on the ball.
Well, that's one thing. Also, you need to win a game. It's just not about scoring
over.
games.
Oh my goodness.
The intelligence to read the game, to know when to progress, to know when to cool down the tempo. And this is exactly what Eaglesvale are doing.
Nicely played by the number 5 under pressure there. Eaglesvale free kick. Could be the boys with a 2-0 cushion. They're just looking to maybe just compose themselves, get energy and live, you know, an explosive pounce towards the end of the match.
Maybe just look at how they are knocking it with so much ease from the back. Now we say they were playing with the back 3. Now they've just seemed to change shape a bit, playing with the back 4, allowing them room to knock the ball around, just saving legs. And if it's a tactic, it's one that could actually work.
Unlucky, unlucky. Get back, get back, get back.
Couldn't control it there. That's Mawoyo Takudza for Peterhouse.
Don't come alone. Chidi, face, face, face. Chidi, face.
You can see the boys from Peterhouse still determined, still in the fight.
So now movement on the Peterhouse touchline. They could be making a substitution any moment from now. Looking for innovation now from the touchline. Something that they think could change with the introduction of a new player.
Or maybe they found their David. Play taken to the far side. Ball comes through. Finds no one at the end of it. So far, less fireworks in this second half in comparison to the first.
Well, really not sure if he meant that intentionally to just flick it over, or it's a miscued header from the Eaglesvale player. But it ended up finding a teammate.
Ref, give us a chance, huh? One touch. Senna, Zoka.
Once again, Eaglesvale looking to build all the way from the back,
Senna, don't walk.
knocking the ball around, long ball forward. And here comes Peterhouse, intercepted once again by Eaglesvale. Number 19 for Eaglesvale is going to hack the touchline, cutting inside, 2 defenders on him. Dispossessed, but he's still in the fight.
We're just looking at how much they're coming back to retain the ball after they've just lost it. Even the forward players for Eaglesvale.
Blame oil. Thank you, Chidi.
Well, like we said, the second half is for the managers. and it's the managers who brings in the best tactics who eventually goes on to win. And as you can tell, Eaglesvale are now playing with a big four, removed one player from the midfield, and they're now looking to play forward direct by bypassing the midfield.
Still going. Is Goliath finding his number 18. 1-2 touches the bit too heavy, ends up with the Peterhouse goalkeeper. Back to the middle. Tsingano. Back to Tsingano once again. Back all the way to the keeper.
Now Eaglesvale just taking all the time they need. This is how you keep the other team working hard. The team that passes the ball never gets tired. You just keep knocking it around and you weigh your opponents by just knocking it around, making them run and save legs for yourself. And now Eaglesvale are doing it.
Almost halfway through this second half. And it's Eaglesvale just now beginning to once again take charge of this match. These boys are managing their game ever so nicely.
Well, now this is a sign and a show and a display of sheer brilliance with the ball. And now the fans counting the number of passes this Eaglesvale team is making and almost getting to 20. And showboating, and he gets a yellow card for that. Well, surprising. You do get a yellow card for showboating.
Oh my goodness. Could this be the lifeline for Peterhouse? More than 15 passes strung together in that passage of play by Eaglesvale.
No surprising call, to be honest. Super disky, as they call it in South Africa.
Long ball straight in. It's a goal! And Peterhouse have pulled one back. Oh my. Like we were saying, sadly, is that the lifeline?
Maybe it is the lifeline that Peterhouse needed. A stunning strike from the right side, especially if you were taking the shot with the right foot straight above the goalkeeper, and they've put one back. It could be the goal that sets things in motion. Can they replicate the form, or Eaglesvale is going to be more intense now?
Nicely touched there. Tried to go around his man.
What a game we have on our hands now. The player really confused why he was booked, and he's saying, all I did was stand on the ball. And the match official says, you kick it, you don't stand on it.
Like we said, one of the hardest things that, or what could have possibly brought Peterhouse back into this match was either a defensive error or the boys from Eaglesvale being overly confident.
And exactly everything that you said is now coming into play here.
Peterhouse now trying to find the equalizer. But still, these boys from Eaglesvale, the level of control that they are displaying is quite amazing.
The technical ability is something that you can't take away from Eaglesvale. Forget the mistake.
Almost 7 minutes remaining in the second half. Will Peterhouse find a way back? They definitely are looking more intent on doing so.
Well, he redeemed himself by protecting the ball, by making it go for the goal kick. Well, they had completed almost 20 passes without the opposition interfering or getting a touch. Now losing the ball.
Ball laid forward there. Peterhouse goalkeeper had to come out quickly there. Otherwise, that could have been a third goal for Eaglesvale.
You just have to look at that threaded through pass that came from Chuma wearing the number 18 for Eaglesvale. It takes a level amount of quality for you to produce such a pass of that caliber.
Once again, the touches begin, but unfortunately, that's one hitting his own man. Free kick to Eaglesvale.
What's also now part of the game plan, drawing as many fouls as they want, just to remove the sting from the tempo that Eaglesville now have. That goal gave them a level of confidence, and Eaglesville just now drawing in fouls to just monitor the tempo that the opposition is applying.
You can clearly see that Peterhouse is more intent now on coming back into this match. But once again, Eaglesvale coming out with this ball. Back to the midfield that has been dominated by Eaglesvale so far.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Chiri.
Ice in their veins still.
Yeah, surprisingly, they're still doing exactly what led them to conceding that goal. But you can talk about the pressing numbers coming in from Peterhouse. Only seems like they're pressing with two players, and it's really proving to be difficult for them to get the ball.
Eaglesvale throw in. What was that time wasting? I think now it's going to boil down to discipline from Eaglesvale. I beg your pardon. They seem to be losing a bit of structure. And that could just cost them the game.
Well, 5 minutes of normal regulation time left. If Peterhouse want to put one back, they have to do it in this last 5. And the dying embers of this game.
Thank you.
Mangana takes this one for Peterhouse. Sends a long ball forward. Mapuranga on the far side will collect it for Eaglesvale. Peterhouse substitution about to take place. In comes the number 6 for Peterhouse, Chinyama Jonathan, replacing number 8, Carlton Chapungu.
Surprising substitution in this last stages of the game. Maybe Jonathan can bring in something that has been lacking in this game. Maybe a little bit of innovation, digging deep into their pockets. They need a last-ditch attempt if they want to salvage a draw, Peterhouse. And Jonathan could give them exactly that.
High ball ends up into an Eaglesvale throw in deep in Peterhouse territory. Number 47 for Eaglesvale takes it. That didn't trouble the goalkeeper at all. And now Peterhouse looking to come forward. Nira there, losing. And that's another yellow card there.
Well, a clumsy tackle coming in from the captain for Eaglesvale. He has been a towering figure in defense and as a centre back. And they conceded another goal in a similar position, but this time it was coming from the left, now from the right. They are looking at the Eaglesvale goalkeeper and his size and his build, and maybe they can beat him for height if they just take it direct.
Straight into the wall. Eaglesvale clears, but they're still not out of danger. Peterhouse still has possession. High ball, unfortunately, couldn't find his man there. Straight into touch from Peterhouse. Eaglesvale takes the throw in.
Any moment from now, we could be seeing the match official bite his whistle, and we could be seeing a celebration and despair for either of these teams. One is definitely going to be celebrating unless they pull a rabbit out of the hat in these last closing stages.
Coach David there urging his players that it's not over until it's over. Tendai, that is game, set and match.
We have come to the end of what has been an exciting tournament at Watershed, and what a final we had. 3 exciting goals, 2 in the first half for Eaglesvale, and 1 that came from a clumsy mistake. A player standing on top of the ball get cutted, and one exciting thing, that was an indirect free kick. Had the goalkeeper just let it pass him without having a touch to it, it would have been played as a goal kick, but nobody understood what type of a foul that was. But it comes to the beauty of football. Our overall assessment of the tournament, from the first games to the last games, especially the final, what can we take home from this?
Watershed has definitely put on an amazing tournament this year, and even the players themselves have shown a great amount of discipline, which is something that was a bit of question in the past tournaments. We've been heavily entertained as well.
True. I mean, it's all in the love of the game. As they say, it's all fair in love and war, and this was definitely war. But for the team that has come out victorious, they've definitely won this one. It has been a pleasure talking about football with you, Gilbert, and looking at these stars and everyone who took part in this tournament, showing what level of excellence they do put on the pitch, from the match officials as well, and everyone that was just part of this amazing tournament. Has been exceptional.
Well, hearts broken. The Peterhouse boys showing a lot of emotion, dejection there. In contrast, the Eaglesvale boys ecstatic with their performance.
Rightfully so. Remember that time they were making 15 or so passes without anyone interfering. That shows you the level of quality and confidence. This is what we want Zimbabwean football to be like. And excellence start at schoolboy level. And Eaglesvale has shown exactly that to us. May football continue, especially if it's played at this highest stage.
Goals from Mashoko and Goliath separating them from Peterhouse's return, who at some point in time looked like they were going to pull in an equalizer.
Yeah, definitely. It almost looked like they were going to put in an equalizer. But what a game. Now applauding the fans, applauding everyone who came to support them, rightfully so. And on the other end, Eaglesvale doing exactly the same, looking like they had the better of the fans who were vocal during the whole course of the 40 minutes.
Once again, thank you for joining us this exciting afternoon as the curtain comes down on the 2024 ATS Soccer Tournament. We've been out here at Watersheds for the past 2 days. No doubt the tournament once again has delivered, bringing out even football legends like Alois Bunjira to come through and scout and see what talent we have as a nation. This broadcast has been brought to you proudly by the All Schools Media team. We'll catch you in a bit as we head on over to the awards ceremony. From myself, Gilbert, and my co-host Tendai.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Nothing better than talking about football. All thanks to All Schools Media. We're going to wait for the media to just do the awards presentation, and then we say goodbye for good.